getting a Corvallis again.
So did you like the way the competition played out today? It looked like the defense was pretty sharp early, and then the offense finished it up with something.
Yep, some back and forth. I think defensively for most of the day was handling things, which, you know, we've had some good back and forth for all of spring ball, so I was pleased with it. I thought guys were playing with some energy, having fun, making a play or two, and then, the offense got in the red zone and finished some things off, so really pleased with how it went.
What about, I'm impressed with the defensive backs in that group. What are your thoughts through the whole spring practice and all the 15 practices?
Yep, they kind of came in with a challenge mentality in spring practice. Want to be a challenging, getting hands-on, pressing more, and they've competed from the whole time, and you saw a little bit of it out there today of being contested passes. No one's running wide open because we're challenging more. So happy with the group. I think we got some depth in the group, and we played a lot of guys today, and it was good to see.
Silas kind of stole the show there at the end. What has he given your team throughout the spring, and what do you expect from him this fall?
Yeah, he's made some plays like that through the spring because he can run. He's quick. He's tough, and you get him the ball in space, he can make some things happen with them. I can see him being in this rotation come the fall.
Talk a little about Damian Martinez getting some more reps today. He really looks comfortable with that first unit out there.
He's taken advantage of those 15 days, been impressed, not just with him physically, but the way he's dove into the playbook, understands protections and formations beyond just the track when he's carrying it. And he's a load, physically. So he has a big-time summer. I can see him being a part of this thing come the fall in the games. I do think we got a running back room that has some depth and competition to it. So I feel good where that position's at.
Are you ready to name a starting quarterback yet?
Yeah, not yet. I will say that we did want this spring to allow for Tristan and Ben to get back in the fold. I mean, they're coming back from major injuries that they missed a long time. I do think Chance has earned to get the majority of the ones through the spring with what he's done, and he took advantage of it. And I think he's improved. But we're going to allow these guys to go in the summer and work at it and go into fall camp.
So you think it'll probably be 2-3 weeks into camp before you're able to figure something out?
Or? We're going to let it play out a little bit in fall camp. I don't know how many weeks or whatnot, but I do feel like Chance has improved, and I do think those Ben and Tristan, when they're getting enough reps through the spring and completely healthy through the summer, they'll be even better players in the fall.
Talk just a little bit about the overall impressions of what you've seen from Trent on the defensive side, this spring, the changes, and kind of how you feel about it heading into summer.
Yeah, I thought, again, going back to Trent's personality and using that into that side of the ball, those guys have played with some real energy. Still think there's details that he emphasizes that show up, and so I've liked it. And obviously we're confident when we made that decision to let him do this. He's running with it. I think he's got a great staff around him that has presented some ideas and coaches their groups well. And so it was a solid spring.
What question going off Trent is, that man loves to run up and down the sidelines. He gets so excited. Is he more excited at the end of practicing games or the players?
Yeah, it's interesting. A tough question because he does. He's got some energy to him. And the guys feed off that. I think they appreciate that he's all into it as well. And we've got multiple coaches that have some energy and it means a bunch too.
When you promoted him, is that something that you were excited to see his energy translate into the game?
I was. And plus he had been here a couple of years, the connections he had with the players, knowing that energy and competitiveness, that was part of the reason we hired him.
You like the depth at tight end, Coach?
I think those guys are coming along. I think Luke Musgrave's really a threat. But we've got some guys like Jake Overman has done a solid job with it. Moved Tommy over to tackle, so that allowed JT, Bryce Caulfield getting some reps, Gabe Milborn. So there's some depth there. Those guys got to take another step or two to feel really, really good about it.
What are one or two of your biggest concerns coming out of the spring?
I'd like to find some depth of the O-line. I think our first five up were pretty good. We've dealt with some injuries through the spring with guys we would have thought would have been the backup O-line, so that's something we're looking at. Describing as concerns, I think every group you want to have a big-time summer, but we're going to need everybody to get in great shape and fast physical game that it is.
Ben got a bunch of reps at QB today. What did you see from him today and throughout the spring?
Yeah, some good. Made a couple throws. We got tough at times there in the protection, and so was some up and down. But again, going back to he missed so much time, and for him to get back to this spring ball and battle and get a lot of turns, he got better as it went. You could just see how more comfortable he is, moving his feet, confident with his arm, and so he's heading into a big summer.
And how do you feel like the progress went as far as getting pressure on the quarterback here in the spring?
Good. Yeah. Like I said, I think Corey Stover had a great spring ball. Implemented a little bit with Chatfield on the end, pressure packages. We're going to need to affect the passer. And we made some strides this spring doing it.
You guys are having a lot of fun out there. You like that? You like to see the
Yeah,
guys
I
having
think
fun?
spring needs to be fun, and I think these guys enjoy being around each other. And so then we get to compete and talk a little bit and hoop and holler. And we got a great group. I think we got a mature group that likes going to work with each other, and that's a real positive.
Chance said this team feels like they have a lot they have to prove next season. There's a lot they left out there. Is that something that the players have communicated with each other? Is that something the coaches have installed within this team, or is it just the overall mindset?
I think it's really started with these players. You don't got to remind them a lot of what could have been last year. You don't have to remind them that there's no guarantee from one year to the next. Each year is new. Each team is new. We got some new players, but also how competitive these games are. So we got a mature group that's really player-led. Awesome.